Alright, today I thought I'd do a mini overview for Natsuki Chronicles. I just bought this a couple days ago with birthday money. I have not finished it yet, but thought I'd just tell people how awesome this game is. This is about as close as you're going to get to a AAA shmup in this era. As we all know, Cave does not really make shmups anymore. They make like some mobile lolly witch gotcha game shmup thing. They don't really make anything anymore. There's a lot of shmups still coming out, but there aren't many with this level of quality and features and functionality. So let's just go ahead and play a couple levels and check it out. So there's a story mode and an arcade mode. Arcade mode is, how you would play this if this was an arcade game. Otherwise, you just play story mode and you can play the levels one by one and you can get a bunch of upgrades and stuff. I actually have not touched arcade mode yet because I'm trying to get through the story. The game is actually quite difficult. It doesn't pull any punches unless you're, a shmup master. You're gonna have to do some grinding, which isn't really a bad thing. I think it's cool that they actually have more of a noticeable progression than the average shmup, where the only thing you have to rely on is your skill. Obviously, those kinds of games are great in their own right. I definitely have once CC'd a small amount of shmups, and it's very satisfying, but the average person who plays these is not going to have that kind of dedication. So it's cool that they have a mode where you can effectively level up and change your build and get better stuff. I'm quite a big fan of it. I do think shmups get kind of boring if you don't really have that kind of dedication or passion. This allows pretty much anybody to access the game and kind of get to the point where they want to. So let's go ahead and play through the training. So you guys can get a little handle on the mechanics. I will say one thing though, the base controls for this are a little bit suspect. Having R1 be the slow down button instead of just holding the button down feels a little bit weird. So you might want to change that so that you have quick access to that on your left hand instead of your right. So you've got your front weapon and your rear weapon. Now the secondary weapon is not always a rear weapon. Sometimes it can actually be a front weapon as well. So if you want to play my favorite character archetype in the shmups, which is just the one with the smallest bullet trajectory, or smallest, most narrow path bullets, but the strongest attack power, you can very much do that. It's just, you're going to have to play this like an old school shmup if anything appears behind you. So if you fire both weapons at once, your attack power will decrease. But I'm not sure how much diminishing returns you get, because you can put two front weapons on, and I guess you can do more damage. I'm not really a scientist on this game yet, so I can't really go into the nitty-gritty of all the mechanics. You also have a special weapon. Like in this case, it's a rotating thing. So this is not a one-hit death game. You actually can regenerate your shield. Kind of similar to like first-person shooters work. Here's your special weapon. You can see the power pod type things are deflecting bullets. It regenerates slowly, so you can't have it on all the time. There are a number of different options you can use. This is one of the basic ones. I'm working on grinding out one of the better ones now, so I have a better fighting chance. It does seem like they really do expect you to grind a lot, unless you play the game a ton, and you have it like down to a science. You are going to have to do some grinding, but I definitely think it gives it a different feel compared to your average shmup, where your progress is pretty linear and it's not always noticeable because there's no stat progression or weapon progression. I think it's cool how you actually unlock things here. Okay, so you want to see my build here. Right now I've got the wave on the secondary weapon. So, sorry I'm yawning. I have this on my secondary weapon, so if I fire both at once, then I get a lot of frontal coverage, but I have no rear coverage. There's a lot of other weapons here, and there's more to unlock. I think I'm about halfway through the game. So I've got the front Vulcan at level 3. I don't really have the others at a high level yet. Okay, so wave level 2, and then these are your special weapons. Right now I have this one, but I'm working on grinding out this one, so I have way more coverage. This is the one you start out with, which is a little bit dinky because it only covers the direct front of your character model. You also get EX shields. By equipping EX shields, you get a lot more damage. By playing a stage and increasing your stage study level, your max number of EX shields will increase. So it's independent of each level. So if you really want to grind out a level, you can raise your level study and get a lot more EX shields. Also, for those of you who are Yamaha 2612 fans, the soundtrack is done by Yosuke Yasui, who's one of the best retro composers in the business right now. He makes some really badass music. I actually turned off the voice acting so you can hear him. Here's music. Also, for those of you who are on high or arbitrary frame rate monitors, this game actually runs above 60 FPS, which, as you know, is about as rare as it is for fighting games. It's very rare for a shmup to run above 60 FPS. This is running at 144 FPS right now, which, like I said, I'm not an expert on this game. I don't know if that affects any gameplay stuff, but it seems like it doesn't. Run so far. The game is nothing but certified bangers, by the way. It's worth playing just for the soundtrack, but unfortunately it's a very good game too in its own right. Yosuke Yasui needs to compose like every video game. You need to clone him. Preserve him for future generations. He does a lot of arrange, like retro style arrange for games with more modernized music. Really cool too. Oops. So I should explain there is voice acting in this game and there's a story, but the average shmup player, even though I'm not very good at shmups, I don't care, so I just turned off the voice acting. I'd rather not be distracted from the badass music. So you can essentially keep grinding out levels if you want. I think it's cool that they allow you to do that, because, you know, if you get stuck on a roadblock, like the boss in level 3 is pretty difficult. You know, if you want to go back and grind to change your build and try another approach, you very much can do that. It is not as in-depth as something like Tyrion, but Tyrion was very much a Euro shmup. Skill didn't really matter that much in that game. It was pretty much all your gear. Obviously, this is designed with, you know, an arcade game in mind, or an arcade-style design in mind, meaning that you can finish it with crap gear just fine if you're good enough, but if you want to make the game easier or customize it to your liking, you very much can do that, which I think is really cool. I think that's kind of the direction shmups need to take to garner a larger audience, because most people don't have that arcade mentality. You know, I'm pretty old. I just turned 35, so I grew up in the arcades. I'm used to trying to 1cc things and having things be predominantly skill-based, but I'm not as good at shmups as the other genres that I play on this channel, like beat-em-ups and platformers and character action games and Muso games and stuff. Like, I'm a lot worse at shmups than all of those other genres, so I appreciate having the ability to grind and change things up as you like it. The game is only $20 right now. I believe it is available on all consoles except the Switch. I know it's available on PS4 and PC. It seems like it's pretty much the same game on all platforms. However, if you play on PC, you actually get to play a shmup above 60 FPS, which is about as rare as it is for fighting games. The only fighting game I can think of that runs above 60 FPS is Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. So if you have one of those monitors that's high resolution and you can support run anything above 60 FPS, I recommend this game even more. For 20 bucks, this is a steal. This is about as close as you're going to get to a AAA shmup. Arcade doesn't really make anything anymore. Shmups are pretty much just indie things at this point. These guys are making really high quality stuff, so go ahead and support it. The only complaint I have with this game so far is that I can't buy the damn soundtrack. The soundtrack is not available on Steam. That's something they need to rectify immediately, because anything with Yosuke Yasumi in it is worth its weight in gold, and unfortunately I don't know how to legally acquire that music. Hope this helps you guys. It's definitely worth 20 bucks. It just came out like last month or something, a couple weeks ago, so it's not going to be discounted anytime soon, but this obviously has enough content to warrant a $20 purchase. Definitely support stuff like this so we get more of it. Thanks for watching.